Hi. First of all, I'm LaSalle. Mr. LaSalle.
Mr. LaSalle, I respect you.
Yes. Yeah, I'm Mr. LaSalle. That's America Let's Talk Success. Now, to answer your question, I spent 4 years during the first administration as a spin doctor. By the way, what is your name?
My name is Ratazan. How you doing?
Ratazan?
Ratazan, yes.
Ratazan.
Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to make you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, go right ahead. Any other questions?
Oh, no. What you know about crack in the 80s?
What do I know about crack in the 80s?
Yeah.
Well, there
Let's
are a
talk
lot
about
of
that.
rumors out there.
Rumors?
Yes.
I'm going to pull out some facts for you, too.
Okay, all right. So just to share with you,
Mm-hmm.
it was said that it was shipped in by forces within our government and then lodged into the African American communities so that people can accelerate self-destruction.
Okay. So I'm asking you what happened. How did it get here?
I just mentioned you.
Oh, so you're saying that's how it got here?
I'm saying that what was reported that is what exactly happened.
Yeah. So what do you? So you're saying that happened, right?
I personally believe that yes, it did happen.
Okay. So now we're getting some, and we can talk about a whole bunch of scenarios. We can talk about
Let's talk success. Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about a lot of scenarios. We're gonna talk about crack. I'm also gonna ask you about my mind. Where did they drop bombs on?
Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Black Washington. We're gonna talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma. I had a little mind for it. We can talk about all of that. So you agree with that there were inside jobs to bring crack into America? Affirmative. Yeah. So now, knowing that information, right? How can you still say America's success? Knowing that your government brought it here to find like the Iran-Contras, things of that nature, right? Because Gary Webb wrote about it. You know, he said he shot himself 2 times in the head, which I seriously doubt a man shooting himself 2 times in the head, by the way. Locked up Rick Ross and tried to pin everything on him, which he didn't know anything. And he even talks about, I actually don't know Rick Ross and had an interview with Rick Ross. He talked about the federal agent that he actually went and dealt with. And that's another time. You can watch the interview if you want. So now that we know that America had their hand in the destruction of people, I'm not even going to say black people, I'm going to say a people. How do you still say America's success?
Because, with all that being said, my dear friend,
Yes.
we are all still here today.
Okay.
And then not only that, what makes America even greater, all of you can stand here and say, hey, you know something, that was an incredible injustice. And of course, we would like some type of retribution as a result of the crimes that were committed upon the American people. Upon the same complaint being in another foreign country, then you would be at risk as a car driving by and then taking all you guys out. If not just a big truck coming and then gathering you guys up and then throwing you into a jail forever for doing exactly what you're doing right now, which is totally legal, moral, and ethical here in the United States of America.
Can I read something for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. And I'm going to read something in answering to your statement. Let's read Deuteronomy 28. Yoke of iron upon thy neck. This is one thing that I study his. I'm a young man, but I read a lot. And one thing that I do like, specifically, I read a lot. You know, these are books and stuff that we have. Yeah, I read a lot. But one thing that I do like to read on is history. I love history.
Really?
Me, my personal self, yeah.
Okay,
I love Roman history. I love Greek history.
Really?
Egyptian history. Yes.
That's very, very positive.
Now I'm gonna be real. This is me. Paralleling the Greeks and the Romans, we're gonna deal with the Greeks and the Romans.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
If you know it, I don't know if you know anything with the Greek history, Roman history, but in dealing with it, I'm gonna ask you.
Well, let me just say this.
Go ahead.
They call me Mr. La Saw All. So therefore, I've already been there and done that.
Okay. So now I'm gonna ask you a question. What was the difference between the Greek nation and the Roman nation? What was the difference between those two nations?
They're actually all homogenized together.
Right, but what was the difference between the two empires at the different times that they ruled?
That's kind of ambiguous when you say the difference.
I'm gonna let you know. The Grecians, right, when they ruled with more of an iron fist than the Romans did. The Romans actually adopted something, and they learned from the Greeks. When the Greeks fell, right, to the Persians and Medes, the Persians and Medes came into power, okay? When the Persians and Medes came into power, and then after that, the Romans came into power. But now the Greeks fell, and the Romans actually learned from the Greeks. And what the Romans learned from the Greeks is this. The Greeks was on Alexander the Great. He was conquering all the known land, okay? He had 4 generals, one being Antiochus. Now what they did was they conquered with an iron fist. The Romans, they came at a different approach. They still had rulership, but they let their people believe that they were working class people, and their society lasted longer. Are you following me?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir, I got it all.
Right.
Uh-huh.
They followed. Now, that's what they allowed their subjects to believe in their mind. Because when a dog believes he's free, a dog ain't going to rebel against you. Right? Same to this. Let's read that real quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst.
Did that happen to us as a black people? Yes, it did. We served our enemies when we came here in hunger and in thirst and nakedness. Right? We don't.
And in nakedness, and in want of all things.
And we wanted all things. We were nothing. We were chattel.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Now, did he put a yoke of iron on our neck? Yes. He did. Yes, he did. Now, read. Now, this is the point. Read.
Until he had destroyed thee.
It says until, read.
He hath destroyed thee.
Now, we gotta think about that. We gotta be careful. We gotta think about that. And I'm gonna let you, because I know you want to say something. So I'm just gonna say this last point, and I'm gonna let you say something. We gotta think about that for a second. It says until the yoke of iron will be on our necks until he destroyed us. Meaning, you're not gonna always have a yoke of iron on your neck until you're completely destroyed. Now, what does that mean? That means the same thing the Romans did, the same thing the Greeks tried to do. America learned from both of those empires, and America couldn't last long with us as slaves like that. You know why? Because they would have had uproars. They would have had rebellions. So you know what you do? You get more productivity from your cattle when you make your cattle feel a part of the family.
Okay, go ahead.
So now what we have is we have a bunch of cattle, working class, so-called working people, and we can work, we can drive back and forth, and we don't question the authority of the higher ups because we feel like we're free. But examples of 80s and the crack era shows how we're not. But be it that we feel that we're free, it overrides the reality of us not being free. Similar to like what the Matrix says and things like that. You know about what I'm telling you. So you can feel free, and I'm gonna even tell you this. They'll take one, like if I wanted to conquer these brothers right here. My brother right here holding the camera, he's the leader of these brothers right here. How do I conquer these brothers? I have to conquer him first. So you know what I have to do? Kanash, let me talk to you for a second. Hey, I'll give you some money. I'll make you famous. I'll make you this. I'll make you that. I'll give you the change. All you gotta do is lead the rest of your people to oblivion. So you might be successful. We might have Drake successful, Dr. Dre successful. But in all reality, guess what? You're not successful because he's putting up one person to make it appeal that you are successful. So we don't care about the appearance of being successful, my brother.
Okay, America, let's talk success, engaged in an invigorating conversation with a group that calls themselves...
We're Israelites. We're Jews.
Okay, you're Jews.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, very good. And we are coming to a meeting of the minds collectively here to help bring about a conscious balance in philosophies as to what really transpired and what we should collectively do as
That's the point. Bingo. So now knowing that, now look, you agreed with me earlier. You said you agreed that our government had a hand in putting crack in the black communities, right?
Yes.
You agree?
Yes.
And I just told you that you talk about the success. Yes, it's an illusion of success, but Obama showed you that much because what did Obama really get done for black people?
You really want to know?
Yeah. What did he get done for black people? Oh, no, let's take the mic. Go ahead. Just say it. It can hear you.
He, of course, broke the glass ceiling. He broke the color barrier. The Oval Office said white men only from its inception, and then voila, now we know that that's no more. Next.
So you saying he broke a color barrier?
Yes.
That's what he did for us?
Yes, absolutely.
How did that help us?
That's the question that I want. How did that help us?
How did it help you? Here's how it helped everybody and all the generations that will come after. Because when I was taught coming up through grade school that anyone here in the United States of America, if you have drive, desire, and determination, you can, if you want, become president. Okay? So therefore, all the generations that, even your generation or those that are coming under you, once they see, oh, well, there's a guy that looks like me, and he became president.
I'm happy he said that. That's exactly. That's good.
That's good.
'Cause that's exactly what I said.
That's good. That's good.
And that's the scenario I gave. You put one Negro up.
Yeah.
Look.
Is he a Negro?
Not even Negro.
But no. Let's talk. Let's tell me. You put one Negro up. Success.
He broke the color barrier.
He broke it. He won.
Yeah.
Yes, we won.
That's good.
Meanwhile, gentrification is still happening right now and forcing your black self out of here. But watch this. Meanwhile, there's still a high population of our people being wrongly imprisoned.
Yes.
Crack in the communities still today.
Yes.
What did Obama really do but be a face?
Now,
I love the talk.
you know, there is something called personal responsibility. All right?
You get that?
Now, even with the crack cocaine,
Uh-oh. It's about to be our fault, right?
pardon?
It was our fault, right?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
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 Yes. 100%, 1000%
I
our
love it.
fault. You know why? Because no one put the crack in the community
I love
and
it.
then came.
Say it.
Whoa.
Say it.
Let me complete.
I'm
Let me
yeah.
finish.
What you say?
No one put a gun to anyone's head and said you have to and must do this. For me, if they put the crack cocaine and they sit it right in front of me, I'm gonna say, hey, listen, you know, it looks cool or whatever have you, but it's not my thing.
What? I'm gonna ask you a question. You don't know nothing about crack.
Because I've never indulged
Wait,
in it.
listen. Let's say you don't know nothing about crack. Never heard of crack. Right?
Of course I have. I've heard
No,
of it.
I'm saying before. I'm talking about before it came into the community.
Yeah.
No.
The first people that got it.
No, I'm
Okay.
no.
So let's say, right? You don't know nothing about crack.
Okay.
You don't know the effects.
That's correct.
You don't know the harm.
That's correct.
It's like you might think of it like tobacco.
Go ahead.
Smoking cigarettes, right? Even though we know that that's detrimental over time, but it doesn't give you a high like crack does, right?
Go ahead.
So somebody comes to you and tells you, hey, you know, you want to make some money? You already poor.
Oh, there we go.
You already grow up in poverty.
Okay.
It's our fault too, huh?
What would you do if you don't? Now mind you, remember, you don't know nothing about crack. All you know is, hey, you can make some money. You see a federal agent come to you, hey, you want to make some money? Yeah, man, I need to make some money. Mama, we about to get kicked out of our Section 8. Don't have money to pay the rent. So what are you going to do?
Okay.
Not knowing the effects.
Okay.
Until, like a lot of dope dealers have come, the early dope dealers have tried to reverse that by helping the communities like Rick Ross and other people because they didn't know the effects of what crack was. Now, how many black people do you know in that time were chemists? They weren't. So now, to say that it was somebody's fault for not knowing the dangers, but the person that put the danger in their hand that knew the effects gets scotch-free from that? And it's your fault? It's our fault? That's what you telling me. You telling me if I'm gonna say this last thing. If you got a child that's 5 years old, he don't know candy gonna rot his teeth.
Okay.
But you keep giving him candy.
Okay.
So wait, is it the child's fault or the parent?
Okay, it's like this, my friend.
Uh-oh, let's see. What is it?
The fish story.
Okay, the fish story.
Here's the fish story.
Okay.
It says that if the big bass don't eat the little bass, we'll be up our ass in bass. Now, my friend, even though this landscape here has been, of course, paved and it's suitable for driving back and forth, so on and so forth, I mean, it is still an asphalt jungle, and we're still living in a jungle.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, we agree.
And of course, there are a lot of things that happen in the jungle. For example, today, somewhere in this country, my friend, someone got up and had to go kill something so you can have a bite to eat.
Okay.
That happened. But you're unaware of that because you're here and you can just go right across the street to the market or McDonald's, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. I said all that to say is that in any type of market where we're dealing with people and this and that, there is volatility. And so, and then not only that, there's volatility, and then there's attrition that goes along with that. And then there's the survival of the fittest. So what I'm really trying to say is that someone was responsible after they saw that this epidemic was growing to then come to the community and say, hey guys, go take leadership and say, no, who did it?
Rick Ross did with Gary Webb.
Well, why didn't they then wipe it all
Gary Webb
out?
got killed and then Rick Ross got framed.
Well, no, my friend, no. I'm speaking about through the grapevine.
Proverbs 26 and 5.
Through the grapevine.
No, but did you hear what I said though?
Yeah,
somebody did do it.
No, someone attempted.
A lot of people attempted. Actually, Oliver North, right? All of the. How you doing, brother? All praises. Come on. Oliver North, right? You familiar with Oliver North?
Yeah, we had,
the Ronald Reagan administration. Ronald Reagan administration.
Yeah,
right?
have you ever talked to Oliver North?
No, I never talked to Oliver North. To be honest with you, I don't have to talk.
You were not even born.
I don't have to talk to him. But you know what I do know how to do? I do what a lot of people don't do when I read. Now here's the thing. Reading is fundamental, right? Okay. So now, let's read this. Let me show you something real quick, Rick.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 25.
This is for you, my brother, Rick.
When he speaketh fair, believe him not.
When he speaketh fair, believe him not. What does that mean? What did he say? Read, watch this.
When he speaketh fair, believe him not. For there are 7 abominations in his heart.
There are 7 abominations in his heart.
Whose heart are you speaking about?
Talking about the white man's heart. You know what? Wait, hold on. He don't like that. Wait, hold on. Because now,
that's not success.
Listen. You just admitted that that's not success by saying that your government put crack in our own neighborhoods.
I said it wasn't success.
Now wait. Listen to me. Yeah, the world just moved in better. I need that one. It says that there's 7 abominations in his heart. So now, the fact that the white man, you know what? Give them niggas some jobs. Let the Negroes work. You know what? Even let them Negroes think that they voting. Because you know what you will always still be to them? A Negro. Now here's the thing. You know what they used to do? Oh, I love Malcolm X. You know what he said? You got the House Negro, you got the field Negro. You know what you acting like right now? You acting like a House Negro right now.
Really?
Yeah, you are. Now let me do that. Now let me be real with you.
Why do you say that?
Success and stuff, that's a House Negro. Now look, listen, let me tell you, let me say what do I say. Malcolm X said it best. The House Negro, what did he used to tell the slaves back in the day? Massa, don't rebel. Massa good to us. No. Don't fight Massa. Look at this big old house Massa then gave me. Look at Master let me eat from the crumbs of his feet. That's what you're telling me right now. The fact that Master allows us to eat from the crumbs of his feet, I'm supposed to be okay now? Not at all, my brother. Not at all. I'm not okay with that. You know why? Because that's not freedom. That's called being chattel. That's called being a pet. I'm nobody's pet. You can be somebody's pet, but I'm not. You understand what I'm saying? Let's read this one. Read it.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help.
Our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. How long have we been waiting for America to help us?
1200 plus years.
They killed Malcolm X. They killed Martin Luther King. They killed the Black Panther Party. Said, what did he say? J. Edgar Hoover, what did he say? The Black Panther Party was the most dangerous thing in America. Didn't he say that? They killed all of our black leaders. They put drugs in your communities, and we still running to him for help? Pass laws to put us in prison? Right? And then they lock you up and give you life in prison for a crack rock when that's not even the natural form of the rock, and they catch you snorting that what? The other forms that the white people had, they get, what do they get? Rehab. A slap on the wrist. How many black people went to rehab for crack?
Well, I guess there are some numbers out there. I haven't done that research.
You haven't done that research. I know you said you talked to Oliver North. Well, maybe you should do that research.
Okay. If it would then assist in accomplishing my personal goals, I would do it gladly.
What's your goal for your people?
my goal for my
How you helping
people-
us? Yeah.
My goal for my people, which has already been done, meaning that the freedom and everything that you're
Are we
standing
free?
here- Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Okay, let me say this.
Go ahead.
Let me say this. Okay. And please let me complete.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. I said America, let's talk success. So what I'm really doing, I'm asking all of you guys to join me here in the last crusade. Now, to understand the last crusade, you just need to know a little bit about the first crusade. Now, the first crusade was given to us by what they call the Knights Templars Masonic Lodge,
You a Mason?
which then gave us the Colombian
I was asking
faction
that question.
of the Illuminati, which then came to America, founded itself in the state of New York,
Right.
which was from the Old York, right in England, from the Duke of York to Old York, England, now to New York, the Empire State. And if you understand that, then you know that Europe has dominated Western civilization for better than 1,700 years. So the bottom line here is that the power structure in Europe is symbolic of the old world order, which is the power structure of the old world. Then came forth the advent of Cristo Columbia, Christopher Columbus, right?
We know about that.
Yes, as the founding of the new Americas, and of course the new power center that they had then said, okay, America's going to be the superpower around the world. That was all said and put in place then. But even still, when it comes to this, my friend, even though the principles are solid and universal, it was the very people that you're talking about that actually created and published this for you to then say what
We're
you're
gonna talk
saying
about
to
that
me.
too. I want you to hold those points because I want to talk about that, and also what I want to talk to you about is this. So you're saying the powers to be that took control over America, right? Am I following you, right? The powers to be that took control over America, right? Which are the evil entities, from my understanding. I don't know if you understand it that way. You mentioned the Illuminati. You mentioned Europe, right?
Yes,
Which in Great Britain, right? When the English came over here, they
That's
were trying
correct.
to escape Europe, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, with all of that being, and now Europe eventually took over.
Okay.
Okay, right?
Yeah.
So now, the question would be this: during all of that time, what were you still?
What was I still?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What was I?
What were we still, even during that time?
Okay. Yeah. No, we were slaves.
We were still niggas,
No, we're slaves.
Negro slaves.
Negro slaves.
Right. So now the point is, you saying and putting that beautifully, breaking it down, and what you still was nothing.
No, I am something.
No. I'm saying your people.
No,
Back in that time, look, listen.
Yeah.
Back in that time, you were what? What were we? What were we?
Regardless of
We
the
were
role.
nothing.
No. We've always been something. Regardless of the role.
To the society that controls your government, what are you? We know. Look, we tell our people we something every day. These young men, we tell them they something every day.
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
kings and queens.
Yeah,
but what I'm
that's
telling you
correct.
is the man that you love. What does he think of you?
Okay. So now, does this book say love thy enemies?
Yes. Who is
Okay.
our enemies?
Oh, the people that you're talking about.
Let's get that. Give me Ecclesiastes real quick. Watch this. I'm going to show you something real quick. Because this book actually is not a white man's book. You know the people of this Bible was black, right?
Now, brother.
You know that, right?
Well, let me put it like this, my friend. Those who actually control the levers of our government and the governments around the world would not put something in the hands of the critical mass that would then allow them to overthrow power from them.
I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you how this can overthrow power from them. I'm going to show you two things. I'm going to show you the first thing is how the people of this book was black. I'm going to show you that this is a spiritual book, so no matter what the white man tries to do, the Most High God will always get us back to our original identity. I'm going to even talk to you about some history about how the so-called Caucasian man even became to be called Jews and Christians, because the original Christian or the original Jew was actually a people of color.
That's right.
You do know that, right?
It has been postulated.
It has been a fact.
Well, beauty's in the eyes of the beholder, and the fullness of life is not to be
We gonna
seen
talk
by appearances.
Right. We're gonna talk about it. Let's talk about it. First, I want to show you this though. Time for that. Let's read that. Read that.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate.
The Bible also says there's a time to love and there's a time to hate.
Okay.
Read.
A time of war and a time of peace.
The Bible also says there's a time of war and there's a time of peace. Now, I'm going to give you an example of that. When our forefathers, the Israelites, were in power, there was no time of war. There was time of peace. We did business with the other nations. We did business with the Africans. We did business with the... Because that's wisdom. You don't try to kill everybody in the world. No, I can benefit from the culture over there doing work and doing business with you. So we know that. And that's the aspect of peace. But now the peace stops when there's a time for war. War meaning what? The literally genocide of your people. When I see a nation killing my people and I see the genocide in my face, that's not time for peace. That's time for war. That's time for me to tell my brothers and sisters, you have people that's killing you. And if we don't stop this in 100 years from now, black people going to be like the leopards or the tigers, almost extinct. So now, when you say that this book, now that answers that. When you say that this book is for the white man, I beg.
didn't say it was for the white man.
Or the white man gave it to us.
Yes, that's what
I
I said.
beg to differ, and let me show you that. The first thing I want to get is give me Job 30:30.
That's right.
Let me show them that the people of this book were black first.
That's right. Bring it out.
And the first thing you got to
Bring it out.
understand is that the white man doesn't have... Do you believe in God? You believe in that super
Everybody
God?
believes in God. Of
Right.
course I do.
So the God that I serve, I believe what I serve and what I read and proven from my God, right? I'm going to just be real with you, has preserved this record for me to find out my true nationality, because the reason why black people are going through what we're going through today is because we rebelled against our Heavenly Father. And this is what you can read in Deuteronomy 28. This is why we the first fire, last hire, going through crack and dealing with what we're dealing with now, because we disobeyed our Creator. We'll talk about that in a minute, but Job 30:30, let's read that.
The book of Job, chapter 30, verse 30. My skin is black upon me.
What color was his skin?
My skin is black upon me.
What color do they portray Job to be today? White. But Job said his skin was black. His skin. Let's go on from there. Give me, not Jeremiah, give me Psalms. Psalms of Solomon. What color was Solomon? And then we're going to go to Adam and Eve. Because I'm pretty sure that picture you seen, you thought that was Adam and Eve, right? Read that.
The book of Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. I am black, but comely.
He said, I'm back but comely. Comely means beautiful. Solomon was the son of David. And Solomon was black. What was his father?
Okay, so who owned all the printing presses way back when this was created?
I don't know who owned all the printing presses. I can assume, obviously the white man owned everything. I agree with that. But now, you got to understand spiritual things.
I think I really do.
What's this? The Most High, that's why I said earlier, the Most High has preserved us a record so we can go back to our original identity. Because I'm gonna tell you like this. You have even white people today, right? Which we get on our enemy. But you have white people today that's putting out the knowledge that we are the original Jews. Do you know that?
Okay, I mean that's great, but I'm saying, is it relevant?
So, that's relevant because it is. Hold on. Give me Deuteronomy 20. I'm gonna show you real quick why it's relevant. I'm gonna show you something. Hold on. Is it relevant? Remember that. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. Let me show you why it's relevant real quick. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1.
It's very relevant because it's imperative for us to know who we are so we can reverse the conditions we in. Read. If you're spiritual, you'll understand what I'm saying. Read.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
If we should do what our Heavenly Father tells us to do, read.
to observe and to do all his commandments,
Our forefathers in the wilderness, we made a deal with the Most High God to keep His commandments. And I'm going to read some of those commandments to you. Read.
which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth.
That's what your forefathers said in the time when we were getting out of the Egypt in captivity. We made a covenant with the Most High God that if we do what He said do, we will be above all nations. But on the flip side of that, read verse 15. Meaning we won't be going through what we're going through today. And I'm going to read some of those commandments to you. Read.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now, he said all these curses will come upon us and overtake us.